Whereas, you know, you don't. Do you want to linger for 10 years or do you want to go out quick?
What do you mean quick?
And he was.
We don't really know the circumstances of what actually
78.
happened.
Well, actually, they did release the.
They slit the
I know it sounds trite, but the cause of death today.
Multiple stab wounds, I'm assuming?
Yeah, multiple stab wounds.
See, the thing is... Oh, you bet.
Throat.
Okay, but the thing is, man, this is really fucked up because Anderson is always on the death watch, so he's always telling me when people die. I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, you know what I did? Okay, I made Regan laugh. Let's have a little fun. I want to have a little humor here, okay? Dick Van Dyke just turned 100 years old. And
he's still alive.
I said,
he looks like he wants to die, though. He looks like, please just kill me. He looks
no.
like
I've seen videos of him. He jogs with his dog. Anyway,
he's in a wheelchair now.
I read that he wasn't in a wheelchair. He was like screwing around. He likes to have a lot of fun, but he is 100 years old and he's outlived everybody pretty much, right? So I figured he wanted to celebrate his 100th birthday by murdering Rob Reiner.
Oh, God.
So he
I was
shows
blaming
up. Okay, this is tacky, right? He knocks on the door. He rings the bell, right? Rob Reiner opens the door. Dick Van Dyke's on the other side wearing a Santa Claus costume, and he says, "Merry Christmas, Rob."
You were blaming the real killer. You were blaming the real OJ killer.
I'm practically we were talking about OJ, weren't we? Didn't we say Brentwood?
And I said maybe it was Cosby.
Well, does Cosby live in Brentwood? I mean, he's blind though. I mean, he would have to hire
people.
It
don't matter. I get the knife out and then I'll.
Listen, Rob Reiner, you are going.
Rob Reiner.
It's fucked up.
You guys are weird. That's all I'm gonna say. Luckily, I had to take care of some business, and I had you on mute so nobody else could hear what I was doing.
Okay, but the point is, I mean, like, you know, he's Meathead, and he'll always be Meathead. So this, I want to call this episode, you know, Ode to Meathead. But
yes.
I do want to talk a little bit about
or an ode to Marty Di Bergi.
Marty Di Bergi. I have. It's not one of my favorites actually. The movies that he's like kind of loved for are not.
Okay, here's the really weird thing. I heard the news right after I finished Spinal Tap 2. Like,
now that's fucked up.
I was watching on HBO Max.
Did you?
I checked my phone, and then the next thing I'm watching is, and then I see on my phone, I'm like, fuck.
Well, okay, you both watched it, right?
Yeah, the new one. Movie. I saw it in theaters. I enjoyed the hell out.
Oh, that's right, you did. It was hilarious.
Really? I mean, was it on the order of the first? I mean, like, okay, this is
my favorite line from that. My favorite line from that movie. It's like, oh, did you ever hear from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Oh yeah, we got a response. It was like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's funny. I did want to mention, you know, because the thing about Spinal Tap is I never really cared for the movie as a whole. There are individual scenes that I did enjoy. It's like there's a couple of movies that are not that great for me, but I do enjoy some of the more iconic stuff. And I when I watch the whole movie, it just really doesn't hold together for me because it's not. I don't think it's for us. It's not really for our generation. It's more because I think
the reason it hits is because it's kind of an innovative movie. I don't think there had ever been anything like that before. So it's kind of like it's the first, so it kind of stands out.
It's a mockumentary, right? It's a
mockumentary.
It's well, I mean, like Albert Brooks did.
And it's not the first. Well, no, hold on. It's definitely not the first of its kind because I don't want to get too far off tangent.
The Ruddles, of course.
Yes, you're right. The Ruddles was. Yeah, that was. You know, the thing about the Ruddles was there was a documentary that was made, I think, in 1981. No, was it 1980? I'm not sure. Malcolm McDowell narrated. It was called The Complete Beatles, and I think that's what Eric Idle's source was for making a mockumentary and creating this Beatles-like band called the Ruddles. All You Need Is Cash, and that was a fucking hilarious movie, by the way. I actually do enjoy that one quite a bit.
But then technically, Spinal Tap does predate the movie because they had that one TV show. I can't remember what it's, but you find it on YouTube. It's a special feature on one of the DVDs or something like that, where Rob Reiner basically pretends he's Wolfman Jack, and then he introduces Spinal Tap, and at the time it's just Chris Guest and what's his face?
Michael McKean.
Michael McKean.
Well,
and they're playing Rock and Roll Nightmare.
But wasn't that okay? Now, This Is Spinal Tap is more about a moment in time, right? It's like a slice of life, kind of a memoir about.
Yeah, because those kinds of bands were it was like a lot of like older heavy metal bands were going on tour. The newer heavy metal bands were kind of a thing. It was kind of a thing at the time.
Right, and then all the musicians, but then every musician who saw that movie, they said, "You nailed us to a fucking T." It's like all this shit that you're dealing with, we went through. You know, like getting lost backstage and all the drugs and all the groupies.
Oh, I have it reversed actually. The Ruddles movie came out in 1978, and then the Complete Beatles came out in 82.
That's like late 70s.
Because I remember, because it had most of the cast from the original Saturday Night Live in it. You know, it had Belushi.
Belushi's in there, isn't he? Belushi's in there, I think.
Belushi plays the Alan Klein type guy, the American manager who takes over the band, and he beats up a bunch of people as he's walking down the hallway. It's really fun. My favorite scene in that one is where they go down to some swamp or something, and there's this black musician who claims to be the fifth Ruddle, and then his wife is like, every time some white documentary filmmaker come down here, you call yourself the fifth Ruddle. It's like the funniest. They
brought back Spinal Tap like 10 years later. They did some sort of NBC special. I remember.
Break Like the
World.
And
then there's actually like a really eerie scene in it where it's like it's Robin Williams for like 30 seconds. And he talks about him. He's sitting in a pool, and then they cut back to him, and he's just floating in the pool.
No shit.
One of the ones you guys need to watch. I told this to Lawler. I dug it up on YouTube a couple months ago. Do you remember a show on VH1 called The List?
It sounds familiar.
Long story short, there is an episode of the show where Spinal Tap came on there. It was in 2000. Yeah, it was in 2000. And they were promoting the This Is Spinal Tap on DVD, the second release, not the original Criterion.
They always kept it in the. They always kept it in the public. They would go on tour and do things like as a band every once in a while and go places.
Was that the famous black cover? Because there was the black cover of a Spinal Tap movie on DVD.
Yeah, the whole.
And it inspired. Wait, no, they didn't. No, it didn't.
The album, the soundtrack album itself, was completely black on the front.
Because they couldn't do the Smell the Glove.
They wanted to do something that was black, and I remember they did put something out that was completely black, and they made a joke about it being black, and then Metallica went and made their Black Album as a kind of homage to that.
Yeah, and then you got to watch A Year and a Half in the Life of Metallica, that big ass documentary where they went on tour, and then Spinal Tap was there, and then was like in character giving Metallica shit for ripping off the Black Album.
Oh.
I actually have that. I still have that on VHS. I have it on.
Not to mention the thing I sent you, Lawler. I sent you the little because it was on YouTube. I found it. It was the Billy Crystal special, and it's basically introduced. He comes in as Marty Di Bergi and introduces this Billy Crystal, and it's like it's a thing that you can't really do now because it's him and Billy Crystal does all his characters, including like full black face Sammy Davis Jr.
Okay, yes. You know, I hate that. I really hate that because.
Well, I understand why it's sensitive.
What I don't like are the hypocrites, like Sarah Silverman. Sarah Silverman did an entire episode of her show that she had on Comedy Central where she was in blackface when she was dating this black guy, and then she goes around telling people it's evil now. You can't do it. You know,
she dated a black dude who was God. Remember, and then God got annoying, and she had to dump God.
I remember that. But what I wanted to say, because I want to talk just very quickly about Rob Reiner. He's I mentioned 3 movies to you, but I forgot the 4th one that I really like, which was the one with John Cusack, The Shore Thing. I love that movie. That was back in the time.
I was going to say, you know what? I need to watch that.
That was his first real movie. His first real movie.
I'm sorry, but I think it's better than Say Anything. I don't like Say Anything at all. That's another. But those were the movies that John Cusack made around that time. But
that's another troublesome movie with the basically stalking her and doing the thing with the radio. You can't do that.
The thing that I liked, what I liked about Say Anything was the drama between him and Ione Skye. Adding the subplot with her dad really ruins the movie for me. He was trying to do like John Hughes, but he forgot the most valuable lesson of John Hughes, which is to internalize the drama and the romance and the comedy and put it between the two people. That's all. The Shore Thing is a great movie, and it's a Christmas movie too. It's great. I've got to watch it. I should watch it actually again. But that is the 4th one. The other 3 movies of Rob Reiner's that I enjoy are Stand By Me, and A Few Good Men, and
of course,
and
Misery.
Yeah, Misery. That was the other one.
American President?
No,
American President. I like that movie.
No, stupid romance. I hate that. Michael
well,
Douglas.
Well, hold
Michael
on.
Douglas.
I am gonna hold on, gentlemen. I am gonna say one thing though. Without Rob Reiner, we would have never had my favorite movie, and that is the Shawshank Redemption.
That's right.
Well,
we do have to acknowledge
what the listening audience may or may not know is that Rob Reiner's production company did put up the money to do it, and Rob Reiner originally was going to direct it.
But he didn't.
But Frank Darabont said, "No, you're not touching my baby."
Frank Darabont is the better director anyway, but the point being, he founded the company Castle Rock Entertainment with Andrew Scheinman. They produced all of this, including Needful Things, great movie, and they also produced Seinfeld, which was...
I was going to say, you can thank Rob Reiner. I mean, if you love or hate Seinfeld, I like Seinfeld. I don't love it. The fact that Rob Reiner is the reason that show fucking existed and had the run that it had.
Well, and also I recommended a Rob Reiner film that nobody saw. I told this a lot. It's this movie from like 2010. It's kind of a kids movie. It's called Flipped.
Oh yeah.
I heard that was one of his better movies. I heard that was a really good
I watched. It's funny. I watched it once. I really liked it, and then I forgot that I saw it. And I watched it. I was like, the description looked interesting, so I watched it again. And I'm like, man, I see this movie, but it's actually really good. It's like this really interesting, good kids movie. Very, very much in the Stand By Me area, I would say. So just a quality film that I think kids should see and won't see because they watch crap.
It's just I think of the most ironic statement I could make. I was telling this to my mom today because we were talking about Rob Reiner. The fact that he couldn't make Shawshank Redemption and he went on to go make fucking North.
Yes.
That's just like ultimate kick in the balls right
Anderson,
there. It's like, I can't make Shawshank, so I'm going to make this dumb Elijah Wood movie.
Wait, Anderson,
that's what caused Roger Ebert to write his book. That's what caused Roger Ebert to write his book about, like, I hated this
I'm
movie.
sorry,
Wait,
man, I love Rob Reiner, but I'm not going to let that man escape North. You cannot escape one of the worst movies.
What was the thing I said about North? I said something about how North was released exactly 1 month after the O.J. Simpson thing. And I said that this was... I said whoever, because we didn't know who the killer was yet, right? So I was like, whoever did this, it was Brentwood, stabbed to death. It was the actual killers of Ron and Nicole, is what I said. And I was trying to make some kind of correlation between North and the murders, because.
Well, this reminds me of there was a South Park. Somebody posted the South Park clip because they did make fun of him in one episode.
My goo, my precious goo.
He gets stabbed with a fork, but he gets stabbed and then he leaks his goo.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole episode was about non-smoking.
They did. I mean, like, it was such an unprovoked attack on Rob Reiner, but it was so fucking funny.
Well, I agree with like pretty much everything he said, but he was annoying sometimes, and that's
he was annoying even back then. I mean, that was kind of his.
Annoying is fine. Evil is something else. Bad is something else.
He was just like his dad.
No. Whoa, Fraley. Carl Reiner is a treasure. Was a treasure.
But no. But I'm just saying the tone. I'm saying the tone, like the tone. Whenever Carl Reiner never really got. I don't know. I mean, dude, you're from that older generation, man. It's just when you put them side by side, they had the same mannerisms and shit. That's all I'm saying.
You know what it is? He is Meathead. That's Rob Reiner. He is, because when you look at Mike on All in Family, Michael Stivic, right? Meathead. What was he? He was a hyper-liberal, annoying kind of guy. He was in college. He made his wife work. He's banging Archie Bunker's daughter under his roof while Archie is working every day and putting food on the table. Meanwhile, Meathead is always bitching Archie about his conservative status. Meanwhile, he's sitting back doing nothing. He doesn't have a fucking job. And
then what happened? He ended up cheating on.
And he cheated on Gloria, which caused her to have her own show.
That was sort of externally, but yeah.
So he's like a total fucking blowhard prick that bitches to Archie, who is the worker in the family. Busts his ass, even as an old man, and he's got to take care of this extended family. I mean, that's kind of what. I mean, Rob Reiner's he's from a family of royalty. You know what's weird? Oh, I forgot to mention, we watched Die Hard tonight because we were watching tangentially related Christmas movies, right? Who do I see in the credits? who do I see in the credits? But Tracy Reiner, Rob Reiner's daughter. So it's interesting.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, she was. You know what? Yeah, because she was one of the office. I know who she was. She was in The Office, and that's actually his stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter, yeah.
Because he adopted her from Penny Marshall. She took the She took the surname.
I forget who.
When he was married to
Penny Marshall.
When he was married to Penny Marshall, it was Penny Marshall's kid. I don't even know who the real father was, but when he married Penny Marshall, Tracy Reiner ended up taking the surname because Rob Reiner legally adopted.
They were married for roughly about 10 years, I think, from 71 to 81, got a divorce. He appears in an episode of The Odd Couple when Penny Marshall's character, Myrna, leaves the show because she was Oscar's secretary, and he shows up.
I just realized one of his post becoming a director but actor moments, brilliant and genius, and made me fall off the seat when I saw the theater.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street, when he's trying to watch The Equalizer and he calls him, I'm trying to watch The Equalizer, goddammit. He's just yelling. It's fucking, I fell off my chair.
He shows up in a lot of movies that I really loved, like Throw Mama from the Train. Oh my God, Throw Mama from the Train is like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And that's Billy Crystal. Danny DeVito directed it. Barry Sonnenfeld shot it. He's just got like a little small part.
You're going to hate me for what I thought of that movie.
And he was good, even though I'm not a big fan of the Tom Hanks romantic comedies. I did enjoy him in Sleepless in Seattle when he's staring at Tom Hanks' ass and he's trying to figure out if it's a good ass or not. And he shows up in Bullets Over Broadway with John Cusack. That was nice to see, you know. He's always kind of like doing the thing, which is Rob Reiner. But his dad, for me, is the one who, like every movie there were a couple of movies like toward the end of his career that I didn't enjoy, but I loved Carl Reiner's work with Steve Martin, you know.
I mean, Rob Reiner's in that. You know, he's going to drive him to the end of the fence.
I gotta watch The Jerk again. God,
I've never seen The Jerk.
So. Oh my God! Frank, every time he does, I swear to God, he says this every time, and we both react the same way.
So here we go. Hey, I got homework. I have a Carl Reiner and a Rob Reiner movie to watch.
Yeah, but this is fun,
you told me you're all sewn up now and you're okay because you might laugh so hard
you might pop your stitches and have to go back in the hospital.
I don't want to give
The Jerk is really that funny.
The Jerk is one of the funniest movies. I'm pretty sure I put it on my list when we did our list.
No, we oversold it, but okay.
By the way, can I say, Variety published their own list of 100 greatest comedies, and there's only a couple there that you and I agreed on. You know, and fucking Ford Fairlane was not in the top 5. But,
of course it was never going to be on there.
But
Ford Fairlane's never going to make the list of any great comedy, because you know why? People are dumb.
I think the only thing they mentioned.
I just can't wait till that comes out on 4K disc if you buy it.
Oh God!
Freeze frame everything. Jack and Jill went over the hill. Okay, so what was the second death tragedy thing? Oh, I forgot to mention the whole thing with Nick Reiner. I kept making threats to my daughter because I tried to get my daughter to take out the garbage, clean the bathroom, help me wrap the Christmas presents, and I'm like, if you don't, Nick Reiner's going to get you. I'm going to send Nick Reiner over here.
Oh God!
All it does is make her laugh because
she's not a kid anymore. She's not going to believe you.
What? Nick Reiner exists. He's out there with a knife somewhere
in L.A. in the fucking prison.
He'll get on a plane. They had a picture of him. They had 2 different pictures of him, and it looked like, I swear to God, he was wearing makeup, prosthetics, and a wig. In one, and then the other one, he looked like a young version of
It's a hair replacement system.
Okay.
Oh God!
Hit him where it hurts.
Where was that from? That was from something. What was that?
It's from something I can't remember.
It's a hair replacement system.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. It does sound like a Seinfeld joke.
It's Costanza. He's like, it's a hair replacement system.
That's right. He had he got himself a toupee because of John Lovitz or something.
John Lovitz had the wig,
and then Julia Louis-Dreyfus rips the wig off and goes, "I don't like this thing, and this is what I'm going to do," and he throws it out the window.
And I think he reused that thing in Conehead, didn't he? Because he had one.
Oh Jesus! Yes, he did.
It's ironic that you mentioned that. I watched Coneheads last night.
Yeah, great movie.
And it's so fucked up that you had to mention that movie.
It is a good movie, actually. Yeah. Were you complaining about that?
Theaters.
About the how they No, somebody was complaining about the new Blu-ray because it didn't have any deleted scenes on it or something. I forget who it was.
Yeah, which you can see like on the extended TV cut. You can see them like on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like all this shit that takes place on Remulac, and they don't even use it or anything. I forgot to mention Julia Louis-Dreyfus because we just watched. All right, I told Frey like this. I never saw Troll 2 before. I watched it last week. It was brilliant in how terrible it was. So I decided, and I showed it to my family, and we were just laughing our asses off. There's one scene in there involving corn on the cob. You must see it. Anyway, I decided...
I must do it! I must do it! I must do it!
And then the popcorn...
Here's your favorite line. Use this against the goblins, Joshua. It'll protect you.
Okay, so what I did was, because I remembered that they called this a sequel to a movie called Troll, directed by John Carl Buechler, which is a favorite of mine that they showed on HBO back when I was a kid. So I found Troll, and it's great. It has an incredible cast, but it's too short. I don't understand that. You got Michael Moriarty, you got Shelley Hack as the couple, you got Noah Hathaway from Neverending Story, and you got June Lockhart and her daughter Anne Lockhart playing different versions of the same character. But you also have Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall just popping up. For about 5 minutes.
Married couple in real life, and they were both on SNL at the time.
Yes, well,
or they actually, well, hold on, they had just gotten excised from SNL at the time.
I think they had just gotten
about that.
Now, I think
don't forget, Sonny Bono turned into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and also the boy's name is Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah.
But this was such a favorite of mine. It's such a great movie, and I remember that. So everything is sort of weirdly related to Rob Reiner, isn't it? Anyway. That's the end of my joke. Who is the second tragedy of the week?
Anthony Geary?
Tony Geary, that's right. UHF, right?
Yeah, and by the way, Disorderlies, hello.
Disorderly, the thing is, my wife was very big on General Hospital back in the day, and she even watched the whole Luke and Laura story arc from when she was a kid. And she
was
like,
a big deal.
Yeah. And she was like, oh my God, Anthony Geary died and all that. And he was like 82 or something. He lived. I mean, just
the only thing I know, I'm just going to interject one thing here. The only thing I know about the whole Luke and Laura thing is that essentially Luke raped her, but then she ended up marrying him for some reason.
Yeah,
raped her on the dance
floor. Women do shit like that all the time, actually.
Yeah, that's like the only thing I'm like semi-familiar with, and that was because of like, remember when that I Love the 80s show used to come on and shit like that?
Yeah.
That's how I knew about that.
You know what that is? That's just hindsight. Nowadays, you look back on things like Revenge of the Nerds and you say it's rape. You look back on 16 Candles and the girl is with Anthony Michael Hall. They call that rape. Judd Nelson staring at Molly Ringwald's panties in Breakfast Club is inappropriate, and I have to listen to Molly Ringwald complain about the thing that made her an icon. I hate when people look back and say, oh, you know what, at the time I was thinking this is kind of terrible. No, you weren't. You were doing your job, and it's 40 years later, and now you're kind of embarrassed. That's all. That's really all it is.
Well, I gotta say, I was surprised. I didn't know he was gay. Like, I think maybe I heard it long time ago then just forgot it. But
Judd
I didn't know he was gay.
Or Tony Geary? Who are you talking about?
But Tony Geary was gay.
Oh,
he was gay.
Oh, Tony Geary's gay. Oh, well.
He was gay, and he was gay married.
Okay.
And I'm like, I didn't know this.
Whoa. Gay marriage?
Yeah, I believe he was married to some dude. I believe so.
But this was still at a time when it wasn't, and I'm assuming he was gay his whole life, right?
Well, yeah, but he probably got married recently whenever it became legal for everybody.
Well, I mean, because I remember stories about, Robert Reed from the Brady Bunch, Mike Brady, right?
Yep.
He was gay all through that, but he had a public relations person invent a fictitious heterosexual biography for him, and he would have a beard, basically, a woman who he said was his girlfriend or his wife or something like that. And a lot of gay actors got by in the system and continued to get work by pretending to be straight publicly, but we're actually...
Well, don't forget George Takei.
George Takei, yeah. But there's also Tommy Kirk, who was a Disney, one of the first Mouseketeers and became one of the first big child stars. He had his career ruined when somebody outed him out of spite, and he couldn't appear in Disney movies anymore, so he had to appear in, low budget.
One you could technically say, even though everybody knew he was gay, but he never came out and said it, of course, was Freddie fucking Mercury. I mean, yes, it was obvious he was gay, but he never
married,
came out.
I thought he was married.
He was not married. He never married anybody. He was gonna marry what's her face, the love of his life, the song. He basically said, I can never remember it. And it's sad, I just fucking watched Bohemian Rhapsody. I literally just watched it a week ago. And her name escapes me for the death of me, but he always went out and said, like, that was the love of his life. Like, he loved her unconditionally, gay or straight, he loved her. But then he ended up having a partner for the last 6 years of his life, and then he passed when Freddie passed away. His partner was George somebody. He lived for another couple of more years, but unfortunately he succumbed to AIDS as well.
Now, don't get me started on the chronology of that movie because it pissed me the fuck off.
You know what? I don't really.
Got so much wrong.
I don't like the movie. I don't like the way it was. Kind of like reminded me thematically, even though it's a much better movie, but it reminded me thematically of Ed Wood, where you have to end the story on a triumphant note, even though this isn't really the end of the story.
I didn't like. Hey, I put out my review of that movie years ago, and I stand by it still. Like, I hadn't seen it in 6 or 7 years. And I watched it again with different eyes, and I still say they fucked up the chronology. They took too many fucking liberties with that story. But Rami Malek fucking nailed it.
Oh yeah,
actually, it's not even the fact that he nailed it. It's the fact that every actor who played their part as members of Queen fucking nailed it.
I would
these are actors. Yeah, everybody basically Queen was nailed as a band. The rest of the movie that surrounded it was trash. So,
well, there's two other problems. One, it's the fact that every musical number is not a musical number, and it's just a snippet of some piece of music.
Yeah, like the Elton John movie Rocket Man. It's like that.
That was better because everything was a musical number. Because that's the way that. And by the way, that goes to my second point: the Bryan Singer nonsense.
I don't know that it was better because when I watched Rocket Man, I felt like I still didn't know Elton John. I only knew.
Well, look
the
again,
music.
The Bryan Singer thing pisses me the fuck off. I hope he goes wherever the fuck he is. I hope he stays there and stays gone. I don't like him. And also, speaking of which, that movie, because of all of Bryan Singer's nonsense, he got fired like 2/3 of the way through. And then
there was 2 weeks left of production, 2 if not 3 weeks left of production, and they fired him for it. And ironically enough, the guy who directed Rocket Man was brought in to do the last.
Yeah, they brought him in to finish.
And the movie was a huge hit. Yeah. It did. It made over like 400 million at the box office.
It made almost $1 billion for what? Like $900-some million for what?
On a comparatively very low budget, you know. I mean, it was.
Yeah, on like a $50-some million budget. Yeah.
It was like an It type thing where It cost $30 million.
Yeah, but then I just recently read an article and they said okay. And again, this is you wonder why Disney fucking bought Fox, and this is why. Oh, thanks to Creative Fox accounting, Bohemian Rhapsody actually lost $50 million.
Wait, how?
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
Hey, Lawler, how did Alien lose money?
These
how did Alien fucking lose money?
Much, right?
Coming to America, same thing, because they didn't want to pay Art Buchwald money. They said, well, it lost money. Like, made almost $300 million.
So all that money's hidden behind a brick wall somewhere, and they'll get to it eventually. But you're going to tell me next that Die Hard lost money or something? Because Die Hard was made on an extremely low budget.
It's that bullshit 20th Century Fox crap accounting. The movie cost $50 million to make. It made almost $1 billion worldwide, but yet it somehow lost money because, oh yeah, that's right. With the back-end deals and this and that and the licensing and all this other bullshit, yeah, we lost money on that fucker. You know? Yeah.
Well, let's very quickly. I mean, like UHF was a great movie. I want to just finish up Anthony Geary here before we move on to Buck Rogers. But the UHF, oh my God, that's Freilich has like a million stories about how. That movie could have been a lot bigger, but it wasn't because of the distributor, and it changed hands. What was very quickly, Phil, recap the drama behind the distribution of that movie?
Well, it really wasn't. It wasn't drama. It was the fact is that it came out in summer of '89, the biggest summer of all times, the summer of the sequel.
But wasn't it
was
meant
buried?
Wasn't it meant to have been released by a bigger distributor? Than
no,
it was Orion. They didn't really hear anything. Orion was like, I mean, they were just coasting on Bill and Ted money, you know. That's all they had.
Hold on, they didn't do. Well, number one, you have to remember, they didn't do Bill and Ted.
No, they bought Bill and Ted for nothing, and then made the money.
Yeah, they got it. Actually, I think they distributed it.
Yeah,
They didn't.
No, it was a DEG movie that they bought like at the fire sale because it was already done.
I don't think they bought
De Laurentiis,
Nelson.
Yeah. So there's Nelson, Orion. There's like a couple of companies. Yeah.
Nelson.
Yeah. Well,
was Nelson the Terminator company?
No,
that's
Hemdale. Was that Hemdale or?
Actually, Nelson was kind of the precursor to Castle Rock. Really, I think.
Yeah, Nelson was the first company. That was technically Rob Reiner's first shell company because that's how Princess Bride got released.
That's it. It brings it all back.
Comes back to.
But anyway, the whole thing with that was it was completely funded by Orion. They tested it. It tested really, really well. They said it got the best numbers since the original RoboCop. So they decided to, throw it in the theaters. But unfortunately, you threw it in shark-infested fucking waters, man.
July of 1989, which was the year of sequels.
Oh, July! Oh shit! It was probably up against I'm thinking, okay, because I was there when this happened.
It was up against Star Trek 5.
That would have been. Yeah, 89. That would have been
every movie.
Last Crusade was still making money. Batman was still doing really well. Lethal Weapon 2 was out in July, I think.
There were
Karate Kid 3 was probably still making a few bucks.
I saw. Okay, there's an excellent website that has a list of all the movies that were released in 1989, and it was insane. It was like several hundred movies were released anyway, but half of those movies were sequels or derived from other IPs.
Ghostbusters 2 was probably still making a little bit of money then.
Yes, everything. Indiana Jones,
Star Trek, for the non-haters, Star Trek 5.
Star Trek 5 that actually did halfway decent.
What does God need with a starship?
What does God need with a starship?
You question
now, remind me, who was Geary? UHF, help me out here.
He was the weird guy with the big.
There was.
Fucking Philo. Secrets of the universe.
He's secretly an alien. That's what he was. Oh, Sue Ann Langdon. I forgot she was in this too. Yeah, Victoria Jackson, Kevin McCarthy, Michael Richards, of course. This is pre-Kramer. Fran Drescher.
Now the budget on this.
Fran Drescher
the budget couldn't have been that much, right? Like the budget wasn't too much on this. It couldn't have been less than 10. It was probably less than 10.
No, it was about 5
million.
million.
but it didn't even make that bad.
It was 5 million and it made back 6. So it didn't make any money actually.
But then they made money with home video and everything.
But wasn't this was the problem, Fairly? We talked about Orion Pictures. They didn't have wide release. They had
wide release. They just started petering out. They started. Oh God! The whole issue was it was like after RoboCop hit. Like, dude, you got to remember, Orion had a hell of a run up until '88. 88. That's when the cracks started happening. That's when they started making more and more movies, and all those movies they made, they flopped.
Well, they
tried doing these.
It was like the what was that? Canon. We talked about Canon and their business model, right?
Just keep churning them out, and
but the thing is, the two big Orions at the end with actual budgets made tons of money. You got your Silence and Lambs
and yet the studio still went bankrupt and had to sell the finished negative of the Addams Family to fucking Paramount.
That's bad management. That's bad management at that.
Yeah, they still were able to retain foreign on that. They were able to get foreign out of it, but when it came down to domestic, they had to sell the negative to fucking Paramount, and the movie would have made it. And the movie would have made a ton of money.
But here's where Lawler's right. Would it have gotten the advertising push that it got had it not been, for Paramount? And the answer is no. It would have not gotten the advertising budget that it needed to make the money that it made. Paramount was able to pull that off.
Well, Tony Geary's casting in the movie was kind of, it was stunt casting basically because people he had disappeared for a few years after.
Well, I think he was trying to shake off the Luke thing. I think he was always trying to do something interesting and different. Even Disorderlies was a little bit different. He played kind of like this kind of shifty douchebag guy.
It's kind of weird, different though. According to the Wikipedia here, he won 8 Emmy Awards for playing Luke.
He got rid of the perm. Although he would end up being like, fuck it, and he came back because the money was just too good. They paid him a ton of money to come back and do that thing again. They brought back Luke and Laura.
They brought him back. They brought back Jeannie Francis, all that stuff. He's also.
I'm not big on the soaps, but I know a lot of people go back to him so they can make some quick money.
He was raised Mormon. That's interesting.
Well, that'll turn you gay, I guess.
Was he? I mean, like, let's have a look here.
Look! I'm telling you, I know my gays.
Anderson, that's not something to flex on. Claudio Gamma, yes. It was an Italian man. He was Italian. That's probably why. You know, I have a thing for Italian men myself. What can I say? Anyway, and this is many years of staunch heterosexuality talking. Okay, let's move on to our third death, which was,
Gil Gerard.
Gil fucking Gerard, which kind of hit me. That hit me hard because...
Well, he was 82. That's a good run.
But, me and Anderson, this is our generation, our wheelhouse. I don't know about you. I'll share this with you.
All I'm going to do is say one line, and I've always wanted to say it. Oh, yeah, like I want to get all Buck Rogers in the 25th century with Tweaky and Dr. Theopolis, man. Fucking give me a flashlight. Give me fucking two tweezers. Give me 2 toothpicks and a fucking rubber band. I'll find a way to fuck it.
What's that from?
Apparently none of you guys have seen Zack and Mary make a porno. I finally got...
Yeah, okay.
I finally got to use that in a joke.
It had the smell. It had the smell of Kevin Smith on it. It had the reeking, greasy smell of Kevin Smith pre-heart transplant.
Pre-stent, that is.
Okay,
but other than that, you guys can talk about Gil Gerard ad nauseum. I know nothing.
I want to share this because maybe Anderson has the same reflection or the same remembrance. Buck Rogers is one of the first things I remember as a kid. It's one of the earliest memories I have as a kid. Because I managed to grab the box set, this wonderful box set that they made on Blu-ray, and we're going to watch it when Brahman and Regan are finally done with fucking Orphan Black. There are some episodes in there that I was like, oh my god. I remembered being, how old was I? 6 years old, in Cincinnati, Ohio, as a kid, watching Buck Rogers. This was one of the favorite things. This was the thing I actually really liked. I enjoy Battlestar Galactica. I like it a lot, but for some reason, Buck Rogers really appealed to me when I was a kid. When I was 7 years old, I remember watching Buck Rogers on TV in 1979. And I was. What about you, Anderson? Do you remember Buck Rogers on TV when you were a kid?
I got all the memories. Okay, so to preface this, the pilot movie,
yes,
was actually was released theatrically.
Yes, to capitalize on Star Wars. Yeah.
And I think they came out like in the spring of '80, so like the pilot didn't air until like September or whatever, and then they cut it up. I think they cut it up into like 2 parts.
Well, they
changed a couple of things because like somebody died in the movie, but they wanted them to live in the thing. So I saw it. I remember seeing it in the theater. It played at my local theater. It got kind of a decently sized release.
It did.
I saw it in theater. I remember. I have vague memories of going with one of my friends, and we sat, but we were kids and we were fucking around, so we sat like in like the almost the front row, so like the screen in our face, and
the disco dancing scene. Do you remember that?
Disco, I remember that.
Queen Ardala,
I remember
Princess Ardala.
I remember laughing my ass off. I'm freezing my ball bearings off, or something like that.
Tell me she wasn't the fucking hottest thing you ever saw. I mean, I had such a thing for Princess Ardala, and Aaron. Later, and also
Aaron Gray in that outfit. Oh my goodness!
Later,
I can finally interject something, which is kind of funny. Okay. I was scrolling through Facebook while I was letting you guys talk just now, and someone had just posted 2 hours ago a newspaper ad from Buck Rogers in the 25th century when it played in the movie theater, and when it played in Chicago.
Ah, see?
And according to this, it played 15 minutes away from me.
There you go.
I do have something to say.
It played at the Glenwood.
But you weren't born yet, so...
We talked about this before, Fraley, because we talked about, I think, Kiss Me, Phantom of the Park. Now, what it was back in those days, when there was a TV movie, in Europe and outside of the United States, they didn't see these movies. So what they did was they added additional scenes, or they had like extra stuff that was shot, and they would sell these movies to independent international markets.
They did that with Duel. I remember.
They did it with Duel. They did it with this movie.
All home video versions that you get. All the home video versions you get of Duel now, it's the extended European cut. and sometimes it's even Letterboxd.
So they'll add like 5 to 10 minutes, and sometimes these 5 to 10 minutes have sex and violence, extra violence in them too.
Duel didn't, but it was more like plot stuff. But okay, so I go see this movie, and I actually found out this later. It was a good-sized hit. It made like $20 million.
Yes, it did. Yeah, just like they did the same thing with Battlestar Galactica. They made a theatrical film.
They released that in Canada. They did that. I think they just released. I think that was why they released Buck Rogers in the U.S. this time, because when they released the Battlestar Galactica in Canada, it made a ton of money. And they're like, hey, we'll take this movie.
What's
and it
great.
Basically offset the great thing was it offsets the budget because it wasn't a cheap show to make it.
Yeah, it cost a ton of money. I think, what was it, Glenn Larson, right? And it got $40 million.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
You got to figure you're shooting on film and you're using good special effects.
Yeah,
so
I think in the case of Buck Rogers, they didn't. I mean, they would reuse special effects, but not near as much as they did on Battlestar Galactica. So it kind of felt like a ship moving or something like. But like, I remember. So I saw it in the theater, and what I remember about it was it has kind of. I don't know if you've seen. It's on YouTube. There's an opening. The opening to it is like it's almost like a James Bond kind of opening. Like it's Gil Gerard. He's in the suit. There's like women dancing around him and doing things and everything. And I remember that's probably one of my first memories of like, oh, women,
women,
yes, yeah, women. The women's, yes. And so, I saw that in the theater, and I remember, so I watched it on TV. I watched the whole thing. I remember they in the second season, they switched it up to more of a Star Trek kind of format.
They put them on a ship, and they shortened Wilma's outfit to a skirt, and she looked like a flight attendant, even though she's a colonel.
They shortened her role, too. They gave her, like, nothing to do and just sort of be the eye candy.
Yeah, also, they kind of, like, they kind of hinted at a romance between the two, and then they got a little bit. But
I heard that basically Gil Gerard, God bless him, he was a bit of a diva, and that he was kind of a pain in the butt of like he was kind of doing a Robert Reed where it's like, why would he say this and why would he do that? He'd, like hide in his dressing room and be a pain. So it's like he was glad it was canceled. It was like and they shortened the season. The second season was kind of shortish.
Yeah, I think didn't they cancel? They canceled it for like budgetary reasons because it cost too much money and wasn't making.
It was just too much. Yeah, it was too much money to make. And
like
that second season was the introduction of the Hawk character and everything. I remember that guy.
He
had that really
I liked Awesome. I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, he had that ship. And like they start off as enemies, but then like he saves him or something.
Yeah,
then, like,
he was a cool character. I want to mention though the box set that I have is a very nice one and contains the original theatrical release, but it's only SD. It's not full Blu-ray or anything.
That's good.
Did you have the Blu-ray or the DVD?
It's a whole Blu-ray box set.
Okay, here I have the whole Galactica. Well, the OG Galactica. I have that on Blu-ray. But then, like now, ironically enough, I have Buck Rogers, but I have it on DVD because I found it at the thrift. I found it at the thrift for $1.
I gotta grab. I want to grab the Battlestar Galactica Blu-ray box set because it's the first season is really good, yes, but then they move on to Galactica 80, and it's not that great until we get to the final episode that involves Starbuck, and that was a really good episode. I remember. But
another thing that that I think we discussed was, or at least I brought up, was Gil Gerard was. I mean, I don't remember him much of anything after that. I actually found out recently he was in this show called Sidekicks, where it's him and Ernie Reyes Jr. and he was a cop, and then Ernie Reyes Jr. was like the kung fu expert kid, and they would fight crime. It probably ran for like 10 episodes or something.
This sounds like early 80s, right?
Yeah, this is very early 80s, yes. And then of course, and I brought this up that like he did a sort of a guest spot. This was probably right before Buck Rogers, where he was on Little House on the Prairie.
That's right.
And he was like, and he showed up, and he was like the temptation to the mother character, and he was all shirtless and everything, and much like Michael Landon. And he was like a worker, but nothing happened. But there was like a temptation.
All these women were watching him, and then I guess Michael Landon's wife was kind of sharing a sexual tension or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all.
The only thing I really knew about Gil Gerard before all that was that he was like a football player, right? Wasn't he like a football player? I think that was the thing.
Maybe.
And you start off as a football player, like Mike Connors, who was Mannix. Well, Mike Connors was he was a basketball player, but
I gotta later remember. This is way later. This is like literally like 2000, 2010, somewhere in there. He did a little documentary on like either Learning Channel or Discovery Channel, where he got like weight loss surgery because he was like really obese by then.
He got fat.
Yeah, he got real fat, and he talked about his struggles and everything, and then they took him in for surgery, and then I guess he lost weight or something. But yeah, that was kind of like an interesting kind of see where they now kind of thing.
Well, I didn't know this. He was apparently married to Connie Solica. I remember Connie Solica. She was on like 80s primetime drama.
Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, I'm sure the amount he got. I mean, I'm just imagining like an actor in the late 70s, handsome man, the amount he probably got. Oh, damn it.
Bronwyn has had such a thing for him. She thought he was incredibly
a lot of women
hot.
did.
He's also like, he's like all man, you know. He's like one of these Burt Reynolds types, you know, or Harrison Ford or something like that.
But he always came across as like an aw shucks decent guy too.
That's the thing is, we like these things, and these are part of our generation. Specifically, we enjoy. Well, he's almost like a, you know. I mean, the way they rewrote him for the TV show, he was kind of a Han Solo type, except he was an astronaut, and he was kind of a man out of his time, and it's weird, you know, he looks like the 25th century. Everything is new, this, new that. You know, the thing I really remember the most, other than Jamie Lee Curtis was in an episode. I remember that very
probably wearing something very tight as well.
He's helping her escape from this fucking android thing that's trying to destroy her, and it's like a nightmare. And I remember it scaring the hell out of me when I was a kid. But the other thing I remember was Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman in the suit, in that suit that he wore, like he was Future Kid, and he was in 2 episodes. He was like in one, maybe a 2-parter. Yes,
he was in another episode,
and he was in another episode where there were flashbacks. But the thing I remember about Gary Coleman was he kept wanting a cheeseburger, and they didn't know how to make him a cheeseburger. So they poured through their ancient files, and they created something that was like 2 pieces of bread with meat in the middle. And he said, "This isn't a cheeseburger. What is this?" He's a kid from the past who winds up in the future. Those are the things.
Speaking of which, yeah, the funny thing was with Gary Coleman, I think I mentioned this, I don't know what we were talking about, but there was an episode of Different Strokes, and he was in the suit for no reason. He's just hanging out on the couch.
He was just hanging out.
And he's just sitting there in the suit, no explanation. He's just in the suit, no explanation.
Okay, I gotta look at that one again. Yeah, but I remember like the little things like that. These were like these were the icons of our time. I guess this is before Freilich time. Freilich was probably, I don't know. I want to say Freilich was born in 82?
You got it.
Right, so 82. Let's say you're coming of age, or coming into yourself, as I should say. Maybe 7 years later, 89. So what are you looking at? You're looking at maybe...
UHF. He's looking at UHF. Well, he's looking at the summer of 89 movies.
I was going to say maybe Hasselhoff, maybe...
No, maybe I never watched
No, not Baywatch.
Okay, you guys, in 89, I can tell you exactly what I was watching in 89. I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's like all I ever watched, and then like a constant diet of Nickelodeon. Because we had.
I watched that too, though. That must have been when we.
I gotta say, like you're kind of creeping into gay a little bit. Like who are your male role models in your formative years?
Well, it's not gay because I'm completely secure in my sexuality, you know.
But then also, you guys seem to forget 1990 rolled around right after that, and a little show that premiered in January of 1990 by the name of The Fucking Simpsons came on. And from there, I was hooked. From there, I was hooked.
I just wanted to say something about my sexuality. People call me a sexy man, but they don't know anything about my sexuality. I'm a very sexy man. Now, what movie is that from?
Oh, man. Oh, shit. Fuck. I should know it, shouldn't I?
People tell me I'm sexy, but they don't understand my sexuality. I'm a very sexy man.
I know this, and I fucking am going to kick myself in my ass because when you say it. All
right, I got another clue for you. Who been putting out their cools on my floor? Who been putting out their cools on my floor?
Trading places.
See? Billy Ray,
yeah.
Is that you? Back the fuck up. You know who you fucking with? In cell number 4 on the ninth floor.
Hey, that's a Christmas movie. That's a Christmas movie.
I'm a karate man, all right? Karate man bruise on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses, but you don't know that because you're a big Barry White looking motherfucker.
I say you was in the joint last night.
Motherfucker, moi.
Well, it happens to be my limousine out there. Why don't you just go outside and take a look at it?
Wish my bitches would come up and pick me up. Where is your bitches, Mr. Big Time Pimp? And I tell you that the phone in my limousine is busted, and I can't get in contact with my bitches. Yes, Trading Places is a Christmas and New Year's movie. We're going to probably watch it at some point at the end of the year.
Merry New Year!
Happy. In this country, we say happy. Oh, forgive my English, which stinks.
I still say beef jerky time. That's all.
Beef jerky time. Want some beef jerky? There's plenty, you know.
It's okay until Dan Aykroyd comes in the blackface.
Yes.
Yeah, can't do that. We can't do that.
I remember even then going, whoa.
Wait a minute. What about Jamie Lee? She was wearing Sweden face because she's like,
But she can do whatever.
Yeah, for sure from Sweden.
Yeah, for sure from Sweden.
But you're wearing
Will you
later
still help me with my whole sack?
Oh yeah, sure. No more Swedish
Heck
meatballs
yeah,
there,
sure.
Tootsie. Okay, that's Paul Gleason. I wanted to mention Die Hard has 3 pricks in it. It's got Paul Gleason, William Atherton, and Robert Davi, all playing pricks.
This is true.
What about Cocaine Man?
Hart Bachner?